Hey everybody, my name is Natalia, and thank you for coming to Open Mic Night. This is our first one in 3 years, and we're so glad to start it up again. Context is a club at Southside, and we meet weekly to write and create art. At the end of the year, we'll also have a school magazine with pieces from students and teachers that we hope will showcase and celebrate all the work students have created over the year. Thank you to all the presenters and to everyone who came as well, and everyone who set up the room. We'll have a mixture of art, music, and writing to enjoy tonight. You can also grab a snack and something to drink. And now let's introduce our first presenter, Elena.
Hello, my name is Elena Mengarance. I'm one of the officers of the Context Club, and I'm going to be presenting an art piece I did last year. It's in color pencil, and it has to do with the slave trade. I submitted it to the civic category for the Scholastic Art and Writing competition last year. Here's a synopsis. So when African Americans were forced into the slave trade, they weren't allowed to bring any part of their West African culture to the Americas or Brazil. As a form of reassurance, they braided seeds of rice, seeds of hope, to prevent their hunger when they were moved. These braids were a form of rebellion, a statement to say that slavery was a punishment to those who didn't deserve it. This work demonstrates the social issue of inequality between society and African Americans. Their struggle is not addressed and spoken about adequately. This composition depicts the panicking eyes of those involuntarily bound to a foreign land. The people in the background represent the general population of the African community, pulled into the depths of slavery, and the woman in the foreground represents those who braided the rice into their hair. She looks to see who else has braids, who else will plant their seeds of hope to defend against their unjust hunger. The people in the back walk towards a better future, towards the rice that keeps them from starvation. So the piece is titled Seeds of Hope, as mentioned in the synopsis. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elena. All right. So our next presenter is going to be Ellie. Let's welcome Ellie onto the stage.
Hi, my name is Ellie Clodfelter. I'm going to be doing two pieces today, one writing and one music. I'll do the writing first. This piece is titled Game Start. Sorry. Please do not stray from the path. Game start. Walk through the woods or the town. You choose to walk through the woods. The trees in the forest overtake your vision as you walk. Control yourself using the W, A, S, and D keys and follow the path. You may inspect by pressing the down key in front of an item. Inspect the tree. The tree seems normal. Please continue down the path. Pick up the branch in your way. It seems harmless. You pick up the branch and continue on your way. Please do not stray from the path. Please do not stray from the path. Please do not stray from the path. Redirecting you to the path. Please do not stray from the path. Please do not stray from the path. Keep your eyes forward on the journey ahead. Inspect the tree. The tree has a slash mark. The tree seems normal. Please do not stray from the path. Inspect the tree again. The tree has claw marks, almost as if something is in the woods with you. The tree seems normal. Please do not stray from the path. February, and the flowers haven't even wilted. It's crazy how fast you tilted the world that we were busy building. Mid-November, and I'm sipping on half-cold coffee, staring at a girl who's not me, on your carbon copy. Feels like we had matching wounds, but mine's still black and bruised, and yours is perfectly fine now. Feels like we buried alive something that never died. So God, it hurt when I found out you love her. It's over. Do you even doubt it on your lips when you say it, you love her. It's over. You already found someone to miss while I'm still standing at the exit. Oh, I'm still standing at the exit. I can't hate you for getting everything we wanted. I just thought that I would be part of it. I was moving into your apartment. When you met someone, she's from your hometown. You hate these girls, it's where you live now. Impossible to understand how you're not coming back, but I can't say it out loud. You love her. It's over. Do you even doubt it on your lips when you say it, you love her. It's over. You already found someone to miss while I'm still standing at the exit. Oh, I'm still standing at the exit. Oh, feels like we had matching wounds, but mine's still black and bruised, and yours is perfectly fine. Feels like we buried alive something that never died. So God, it hurt when I found out you love her. It's over. Do you even doubt it on your lips when you say it,
Next up is Panioli.
Hi everybody, my name is Panayoti Georgilis and I have two pieces here tonight. I don't actually title them, but I think the concepts of them are pretty well done. So sit back and enjoy. The scrambling of the mind. Like the Among Us character doing tasks just trying to get everything done. Wondering if the imposter will run up on him. It's like you don't know what to do. The idea of not knowing who to trust. It is a really crazy phenomenon. The two imposters are somewhere in the game. But why not run away from everybody since you feel they're going to come up on you? Very lost in the scrambling of the mind. Thinking everyone is an imposter, but maybe there is only one imposter, or maybe everyone's a family. What if everyone's is the imposter, so I should just stay by myself? Maybe there are just a few good people, crewmates around, that I can stand next to. Why not trust anyone? And be on my own. That can be the case sometimes. But sometimes, trusting that someone is not an imposter might be the way to go, not to live in total darkness. The lights need to be turned on after sleep occurs. Lights can't remain off because the imposter will get to you more easily when the lights are off. The way to turn the lights on is to trust people while still being careful. Until you realize in a game of 15 players, as much as you want to think there are more, there are only two imposters. Alright, found it. Clumsiness in slow motion. Crazy, right? Well, yes. Especially, is it if it is completely done in what? Half a second? Well, let's see what else is done in half a second. Let's see. Negativity takes over the brain. Positivity fades. Or you make a new best friend. Now tell me, which one is the best case scenario? The first, the second, or the third? I'll let you decide. Very short amount of time, too. Slow motion in half a second? I guess a lot of things can happen.
Alright, our next presenter is Erica.
Hello, I'm Erica, and I'm going to be reading a poem I wrote in 9th grade and decided to edit a little bit to fit my writing style now. So, what did the tall man have to say? In billowing chorus, resolute in the recitation, a heedless projection, reverent enough to rupture the roots of the redwoods, their lyrics yield seismic waves, bearing mountains and butchering glaciers all in the same breath. They serenade the stars to lull with lullabies, a veneer to the swears they sculpted at the skies. Neither pair aware enough to look beneath and view the singular hand by which they reside. So close to slipping between those fingers, yet never granted upon it, never. A metropolis forged upon their toes, mended by metallic gauze we watched in bronze casting. A collected cache of our vermilion iron, stained beside their souls. Perched atop sailboat cushions, sheathing such a sacrosanct demiurge, from where such crude topography lays. Beware the dictator's decree, the earth's obligation to heed the sun as to scour their being, lest it be seen their shadows remain shrewd. By their grandeur I have resigned, history's spirits aligned with me, I lay on my knees. But what do the tall men have to say, for I am too small to hear? That's it.
Great job, and I'm really amazed by your writing. So, alright, next up is Rory. Let's give up a hand.
Hi, my name is Rory, and I'll be performing the original song that I wrote. It's called Dementia. I've been looking for so long, searching everywhere but finding nothing. Then I saw you standing there, and you were just staring out the window. There was nothing in your eyes. The pupils not focused on anything. Dementia, you're like a childhood bully. Just please go away. Dementia, you're unwanted everywhere. You only cause pain. All I know is this road of yours. Been on for far too long. Your life's being taken away. We have no options to help you. Dementia, you're like a childhood bully. Just please go away. Dementia, you're unwanted everywhere. You only cause pain. Dementia, you're like a childhood bully. Just please go away. Dementia, you're unwanted everywhere. You only cause pain.
Thank you so much. Okay, and our next presenter is going to be Grace Kay.
Okay. This is like 3/4 of the way done, but I'll still present it because it sounds like it's finished. I am the other Grace. A primal sense of recognition is woven into the sea. Fine spun, washed out pink threads embellish my velvet mind. A delicate embroidery of emotion and pathos. A complex design, dawned for when my paper skin first felt the prickly chill of the atmosphere. Molten gold calligraphy on parchment, it requires a delicate hand. A purely refined nib, polished, 24 karat, sharp. Such a crime it would be to waste such pristine, raw, innocent hide. A priceless artifact, unwreckable, untouched. Like a fine wine, a Cheval Blanc, they call it white, but really it's not. A tint, formaldehyde, something in suspension, dirty fingerprints from the kids next door. Purity is flawed. To say white is deception. Though, water is glass and tasteless. My tint, my stain, my deception, the color of my tears, the smell of moss under the decaying broken flower pot in my backyard, the taste of pasta buttered with cheese on a breezy winter evening. What time is it? My name, such power it holds, so much it contains, so much clutter, so much love, so much hate, so much noise, and yet, concurrently, a disorderly scatter of insignificance. It nearly offends me. The audacity is appalling, that a chest of my purest valuables, my scripture, the divine memory of my grandmother, is to the foreign eye nothing but a memoir written in invisible ink. Though I sense an apparition of collective memory, a discreet whisper in a language unique to me, confined to my own head, like smoke in a soap bubble, a delicate yet material compound, a barrier made of silk, fragile, opaque, one-way glass. I am elusive and complex.
picture. So I'm going to share a piece on the smartboard. So we're just gonna have to like wait a second to turn it on. But yeah. Alright, so this is my piece. It's an architecture piece that I made over the span of like 6 months. So it's a modern home. It's kind of like an image of simplicity and clean cut corners, no confusion. So this is like a 3/4 view. It's quite big. It's like 30 inches by 30 inches. 30 inches by like 30 inches by like 30-ish inches. It turns out to be like a square, but it doesn't look like one, obviously. Yeah. So then we have, this is the side view. It's very symmetrical, geometric. Well, symmetrical isn't exactly, this is symmetrical. But it's very geometric, very like clean cut, and I think that's what modernity like kind of means to me. Instead of being like complicated with a lot of frills, it's very simple, very easy to understand, and clears the mind almost. And so I have 2 more pictures. This one is yet another view. This is like, you know, if you were to actually make this into a house, this would be like someone's master bedroom. Like imagine there being more walls in here. And this is like their balcony. And those are like rocks, and you have a nice view. Imagine it's like a mountainous place, and you're just like looking out onto like a lake or something. And then lastly, just like a picture from the top, and that's the roof. Specifically, I chose that roof because it mimics a metal roof, which I thought, like, I don't know, I thought this all through, so I thought it mimics like a metal roof because if you see metal roofs, they often have like plating like this. But that's not metal, that's wood. It's painted black, and I think it does a good job of mimicking what I was trying to go for. And then you can also see from here, like the floors, I individually laid each and every single one of those like popsicle sticks. Yeah, it was a process, but I think it looks pretty good now, so I'm happy about it, you know? All right, and yeah, that's my piece. And so, yeah, thank you. And now we're going to introduce our next presenter. I'm just gonna have to like turn on the lights first. And next up is Sam.
So this is the beginning of a short story I wrote. It's not the full thing because it's like 30 pages long. It's a bit disturbing. Not that bad, not as bad as some of my other stuff, but most of it's subtext anyway. But if you're very easily disturbed by things, then you're just a little warning, I guess. And it's also untitled because I'm bad at picking titles. Around 800,000 people go missing every year, and Nathan's son just had to be one of them. Time froze, and the house had not changed since then. The only sign of a heartbeat within the cold walls was one man. A family of 3 had been swallowed, but only the father was spit out, and everything he did, he now did in silence. The death of motion, the birth of a stasis. He chewed in silence, and the walls were his company. Souring paint, rotting plaster. Why bother fixing it? He was the only one in the house now. The fire that existed in the heart of every parent had faded from him, or perhaps he did not want to see the flames anymore because they could only burn him now. When he was finished eating, he placed his one dish in the sink. Nothing to clean up anymore, just him. It's fine. Just him. When he was done, he turned on the TV. He let the creamy white glow absorb his eyes. Motionless, letting the screen inside his gaze. The news was on. Sports was on. A commercial was on, the news was on again. The grass seemed to dance with the night wind outside. The field stretched off into the distance, miles and miles. Maybe Marty was in there. He sunk into the bed, too large for one person. The wind was crawling out of the window. The curtains hung like the skin of the house, enclosing spaces of darkness below their moving grass, back and forth. Every window in the house was open, ready for the night to crawl in. If only Marty would come crawling through instead. He closed his eyes and fell into black. For a while he let the darkness gather, but a noise woke him, something outside the window. The sound faded into the wind. He was left with the whistle that moved the grass, the one that had always been there, his eyelids shut into gentle sleep. But he heard it again. Not the wind, something above it, something high-pitched. He lurched out of bed and walked to the window. Nothing but blackened wind. He couldn't even see the grass fields at this time of night, only the dim light of the stars overlooking them. The noise echoed again, louder this time, a scream, a child's voice. It sounded like it was coming from the stars. The noise came again, this time closer. A voice he knew, one he had not heard for a whole year. He ran down the stairs, then outside into the great dark. Every direction he turned could have been hiding the voice under darkness and wind. The shadows danced, but it was only the tall grass moving. The scream came again, this time from behind him. He turned and looked back. The open door to the house swung freely from side to side, back and forth. Something was in. He walked back in and shut the door. Dad, a voice. It sounded like it was coming from inside the walls. His son's voice, trapped within miles of dark wood and plaster. Was he home? Did the trip that took him a year to accomplish finally end? Thank God you're back. I'm sorry I couldn't save your mother. Please love me once more. It screamed again. Its voice was as young and fresh as the day it had left. What had been the last thing he remembered of the voice? Was it a goodbye? Him in his uniform, excited and unprepared for what lay ahead, his voice full of raw youth? No, his voice would have been screaming in his final moments, if he had any final moments at all. Now the scream came from below, down the staircase, down into the basement, down. One side of the room was nothing but a couch with food littered on it. The other side was a dusting wall that had a crawl space under it. The voice of his son was in the air again, but this time he did not scream. He only called for his father. Just come to me, I won't love. He spotted nothing, so he sank to the ground and climbed into the crawl space, tighter than a tomb, dust breathing down his skin. Inside, blankets of dirt sat untouched. A lone light shined above like a star bleeding into the house. The bones of the house were sulking, rotting. Dad, the voice said. It could have been right next to him. He turned. Nothing except the decaying skin of his home was there. Within the walls lay scars unopened by man, to which even God could not know which lies inside. He waited a few moments and crawled out. Among the long stretches of darkness in the air, he felt another presence nearby. His stasis had been interrupted. There were shadows orbiting the room, the sunken visages of those floating above this world. Maybe Marty was one of them. Son, please come out, if that's you. I'm sorry, please just come to me. The dark did not answer, only the wind, barking up cold air. The staircase was across the room. He could probably reach it in a few seconds if he ran, but he wouldn't leave Marty, not again. Son, are you here? A moment went by, only silence. Are you there? The blackness answered him, spitting out Marty's voice but no words. It wasn't a scream, not a laugh, not a cry, a brittle rasp from a long dead throat. Nathan waited in the darkness for it to come to him. Whatever it was, he would wait it with open arms. But nothing came. The silence returned. Please, don't go. He waited, waiting for the dark to subside, for the return. He waited through endless streams of time, black waters that ran forever. Years of dark, memories of you unmade in time. And I'll stop there.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think your stories are really amazing, and I think how far you've come since you've joined the club is like stunning. So let's all give a hand. And for our final piece, Elena will share a piece of writing.
For the final piece, I have a sonnet in iambic pentameter, which means it is 10 syllables per line, which is something Shakespeare often did. It was based off of, well, I was inspired after one of our concerts from Chamber Orchestra from last year. Our first chair cellist performed a solo from the Allegro Cello Concerto, and I wrote the sonnet based off of her. It is titled The Cellist. Voices cease, and lights spill rods of bright blaze. Our cellist then strides forth on stage agleam, and captures the eyes of all whom that gaze, as she smooths her dress with emerald seam. She lifts the prized cello built of wood and steel, and with her firm bow strikes innocent strings. Rosin floats in foggy air, I can feel the vibrations of music, of notes that ring. Our mouths are gaped open, and our breaths held still. Her music swallows us, and we succumb. She needs nothing but energy and wealth, as she ends her piece with harmonic strum. I ready my own weapon, my own bow, and my orchestra begins her concerto.
Alright, so that was our final piece of the night. Thank you to all the presenters who presented today. I really enjoyed hearing you all speak, and I think you all did so wonderfully, and I can't wait to hear more of all of your works in the future. I want to thank Ms. Goro for working with us diligently over the past months to get this all organized. It took a lot of work and a lot of planning to get this all sorted. And so I'm really thankful for her always being on task with us and helping us move along, because I think she does a really great job at that. Then I want to thank my fellow co-editors. We all worked really well together to get this all organized, and I'm really thankful that we can have a really good team. And then finally, thank you to all of those who came. I'm really, really glad that you all did come, because this is the first time we were doing this in 3 years, and so we're trying to get it started back up. And then thank you to all the presenters as well. But I started off with that, so yeah. We can all just give a hand of applause now.
I just want to thank you back. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody, families and friends who made it out tonight. This is really important to everybody who presented. I'm so proud of the presenters. Really, that's why I got up here, because your work is just exquisite. And when you get up here, it sounds like young adults who are presenting and professionals. So I thank you guys for your passion, for your dedication, and for being vulnerable enough to share your talent, which takes a lot of courage. And every single one of you got up here, and I look at you in admiration, because it really takes a lot of vulnerability and a lot of confidence to get up here and present your work. So thank you so much. Thank you for all who came out, and I'm looking forward to many years, God willing, of context.
So since that was all our presenters, we have food and drinks on the table, so you guys can enjoy, just talking to each other, hanging out for a bit. We have some time before they're gonna kick us out, so just enjoy yourselves and have a nice night.